Hey, what's up, faggots? I'm starting to miss that homeless woman that I made a video about a while back. And I've talked about it with like one real life friend and like a few people from the Incel Discord server. And I was talking about how I wonder where she would have took me if I accepted her offer. I mean, you should probably go watch that video so you don't feel lost. But one moment in particular of that incident, she was like, "Oh yeah, come with me." And I remember she was like, "Oh yeah, you're a good boy." And like the more I think about it, the more interested I am in where she would have took me. We were on a train that was going from Fairfield to Guildford. So if I said yes and she was like, "Okay, come with me," she most likely would have took me somewhere in Eunora or Guildford. And like just thinking about, the specific location of where she's gonna take me, I don't know why, but just thinking about that is just fascinating. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Like even just picturing the place where, she would have taken me if I said yes. Like even just thinking about the place mentally in my head, that's pretty fascinating. I mean, it's pretty obvious where she was gonna take me, like probably in like in a fucking alleyway or like near a dumpster. Like when I was talking about it to the people in the Incel Discord server, one of them was like, "Oh yeah, she was gonna take you somewhere discreet and suck your dick," and another guy was like, "Oh, she might have lured you in a obscure place to get you mugged." And now I just feel so regretful for not taking up on her offer. I should have asked her for a hug or a kiss, right? Okay, maybe not a kiss, because you have to be aware of the potential consequences like STDs. I mean, it's a pretty fair assumption to say that a homeless woman has, diseases. It's a pretty fair assumption. Like, I'm not a fucking asshole for thinking that, right? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just saying the facts. Wanna know why I feel so regretful? It's because if I asked her for a hug, I know for a fact that she would say yes. And look, I don't have to justify my intentions to anyone. If a homeless woman came up to me and she was like, "Come with me," I'm not taking advantage of her. Like, the nigga approached me, right? But if I approached like a homeless woman like sleeping on the sidewalk and I said to her, "Hey, if you suck my dick, I'll give you $20. Okay, then I can see why, some people might say that, "Oh, you're taking advantage of a homeless woman. Oh, yada yada, blah blah, Scooby Dooby Doo, hippity hoppity." I can see that, but if a homeless woman approached me, I'm not gonna say no. I mean, before, when I made that video, I did say no, but this time I'm not gonna fucking say no, because I've become more increasingly desperate, and people change. At the bare minimum, I just should have asked her for a fucking hug. And that reminds me of another thing that I regret. I didn't tell you guys of the story of how like this other woman approached me. This time she wasn't homeless. This is how the story went, right? So I was waiting at a train station. I was actually waiting for a friend to like hang out. He's actually from the Incel Discord server, and I'm not gonna say his real name, but let's just call him Gold, because that's what I usually call him on this channel. So I'm waiting for Gold at the train station, and then this older woman approaches me, and she looks fairly attractive, I'm not gonna lie. She looked old, yes, but she definitely had that cougar thing going on. I think she's a very pretty woman. And she was like, "Oh, can I use your phone?" And I'm like, "Okay." I know some people might argue, "Oh, is it cucked to let a woman use your phone?" And the answer to that is yes, it is. I kind of regret letting her use my phone. I guess I'm a faggot for letting her use my phone. But that doesn't mean I wasn't cautious, okay? I was still cautious as fuck, right? Especially because she's a void. Because I remember thinking in my head, okay, if she makes a run for it, I'm gonna tackle her and get my phone back. Like, I was fucking prepared. And I was pretty confident about it, because in my head I was thinking, she's an old woman, how fast can she run? Thankfully she didn't run away with my phone. That would have been a good story though, but I'm fortunate enough to say that yes, my phone is safe. She didn't run away with it. But I guess like she tried to call like whoever she wanted to call, but like they weren't answering. So then she was like, "Is it alright if I like text them?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And then she was like, oh yeah, I can't see the screen properly because like I guess she was like old and had like bad eyesight. And then she was like, oh yeah, can you text them for me? And then she like gave me the number. I texted them. Like she told me like what to text. I think I don't have the text saved anymore, but I think she made me text something along the lines of, I'm waiting at this train station. I'm using a stranger's phone. And like during the whole thing, we were making like small talk. I remember like a few things about her. She said she was like from Canada or some shit. And I remember, okay, finally, now we get to the fucking juicy part of the story that I just wanted to fucking tell. I remember drinking a Powerade and like I finished drinking the Powerade and then she was like, oh yeah, do you want me to buy you another Powerade? And I'm like, don't worry about it. So like while we're making small talk, my friend comes, Gold. So he walks up to us, he looks at the lady, then he looks at me. He just starts laughing like, what the fuck is this? Cause he thought that like, oh, I invited this like 40-year-old Floyd to our hangout. But then the woman was like, oh yeah, your friend here is letting me use his phone. And then Gold was like, oh okay. I think she like tried to call them a few more times, but like they didn't pick up. After the whole interaction ended, me and Gold, we just walked away from the station, then we hung out. Then I told the whole story to him of what just happened to me. I told him about how like, you know, the woman offered to buy me another Powerade, and then he was like, you should have said yes. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Cause like one, if you're getting a free fucking drink, and two, it's from a Floyd, then you know, of course you should say yes, but I guess I didn't. Fuck, no wonder women's egos are so fucking high nowadays. Holy shit. I feel like I'm part of the problem. Gold, he's much more based than I am. If that situation happened to Gold, I'm sure he would have accepted, you know, the Powerade offer. Dude, if that happened to Gold, he wouldn't even let her use the phone because he's based. So the reason why I'm telling this story, okay, is because I regret not asking her for a hug, okay? Look. When she asked me, do you want me to buy you another Powerade? I really wanted to say, no, but can I get a hug?
Yeah.
And like just the vibe that was going on during the small talk, I can tell that if I asked her for a hug, I know for a fact that she would have said yes. And even like when Gold walked into the scene, you know, he stuck around for the small talk just for a bit. And so like after that interaction ended, I remember telling Gold I should have hugged her or asked her for a hug. And Gold was like, yeah, you should have. I think she would have said yes. That's what Gold told me, which was really surprising because Gold, he's like black-pilled as fuck. Probably one of the most black-pilled people on the fucking planet, right? So it really surprised me when even Gold said, yeah, I think she would have said yes if you asked her for a hug.